So who am I talking to?
You're talking to Andy Ihnatko of the Chicago Sun-Times.
But more importantly, you were a fellow 7th grade classmate with David Spark, right?
Well, I'm not allowed to talk about that. Dave went pretty far underground. We think he was either shot by federal agents or hired under deep cover so that his unique brand of evil could be converted towards the Republic as opposed to against the Republic.
You pretty much nailed it. Right on the head. Okay, so that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about iPad 2. Yes.
No gang sign. Hotel lobby.
No gang signs. All right. So tell me, I was at the Game Developer Conference all day today. I have no idea what happened with the iPad 2. Give me the lowdown. What's the story?
Chief, there are two features of Apple's event. Number one was, of course, showing off the iPad 2. The second one was basically saying, and we go back to gang talk. The whole theme of the thing was, you think you're going to be competing with us? There is no competition for us. Not in 2010, not in 2011, maybe by 2012 or 13. But this is our year again. So much of it was just saying that we honestly don't believe that anything Android is going to produce is going to be in any way competitive with the iPad.
You know, I was talking to a guy who owns a company that runs statistics on what people buy on the app stores. And I'm not going to get this exactly right, but it was something like 99.3% or maybe 93% of all apps on the Android store are free apps. And it's a much higher percentage of paid apps that people get, or excuse me, that what people buy, not what's available, but what people buy are the free apps on Android versus people paying on the iTunes store.
Right, and that was the first 10 or 15 minutes of Steve Jobs' presentation, essentially boasting that we paid $2 billion to developers in the last year. We just signed Random House as our new latest part of the iTunes bookstore. All the money that's coming in, that there's all the money that's being spent on mobile is being spent on iOS devices, and pretty much nothing on anything else is pretty much the statement. It was really designed to make sure that people know that if you want to go gold prospecting in northern Delaware, you can go. There might be some gold there. You might be the first person to find it, but we think you'd much rather come to California or Alaska, where the gold actually is.
Excellent. Okay, so Andy, what excited you about the new iPad?
Chiefly, it's an easier thing to demonstrate than explain. You hold the iPad 2 in your hands, and you realize that it suddenly makes like the first iPad, which I've been carrying around pretty much every day since April of last year. You're thinking, my God, it's so big and heavy and clunky and thick, because they made it a third thinner. And you think that okay, well, so what? You got a device that's already like less than a half an inch thin, but now you have a device that absolutely disappears in your hand, and you spend a certain amount of time thinking to yourself, there's no way this is a multi-core tablet, multi-touch device. This is just, a Chinese thing that can show pictures, but that's about it. And yet it's just got such a rockin' processor. One of the things that really impressed me is that obviously it has that front-facing camera, so they also will give you the photo booth app so you can make wacky faces with it. So just like on the desktop app, if you want to choose a filter or an effect, it will show you a live preview of what all those effects look like. So on a tablet device that costs as little as it does, I'm seeing 9 live previews of my face from the front-facing camera. I'm not just talking about, oh, look, this one's black and white. Oh, look, this one's kind of red. I'm talking about warp effects. I'm talking about stretch effects. And it's all like 30 frames per second. And as fast as I can move around the camera to change the view, that's how fast all 9 of these previews are happening. That's some serious, serious stuff they got.
That is a pretty darn kick-ass processor. Just not telling me the speeds and feeds and what's new on it. What do you think, besides that, the cool camera and being able to video conference, what do you think people are going to do differently now with the iPad that they didn't do with the old version?
I don't think very much. If there's any refinement about the difference between the first and the second, it's a very, very minor one. I think that Apple themselves might have been a little bit surprised at how useful consumers have found it. It took almost no time for consumers to realize that this isn't just an ebook reader, this isn't just a music device, this is actually a brand new class of computer, and I should treat it like that. I think that was really demonstrated by the 2 new apps that they put out. Now they got a version of iMovie for the iPad, and they also got a version of GarageBand. Both of them look as though they could be even more useful than the desktop versions because they're so tactile and they're so responsive. My hat's off to you that you shoot all this video and you edit it. I absolutely can't stand editing video, but I can't wait to get my hands on iMovie because it looks like I can just, here's all my clips, slide, stretch, scrub, boom, done, publish, I'm done.
So I've got a secret. Most of my video is edited by a video editor now. So I don't do it all myself.
Sure, throw money at the problem, Jeez. That's why you got kicked out of the school,
Wait, nobody knows that. You weren't supposed to say anything.
You never paid me for that last term paper, by the way. You still owe me $80.
Hey, Andy, thanks so much for your time.
It's been a slice as usual, Dave.